With inflation still above the Fed's target and whispers of recession in the air, how should you prepare for what's ahead? Stay tuned. Thanks for watching this week's video. I'm Shirley with Shirley's Real Estate Group, Giles Scott, servicing clients throughout the Puget Sound area. And this is the BS Real Estate Show, buying and selling real estate, that is. With so much buzz about the economy, I've been getting a lot of questions from clients about what it all means for real estate. So let's break it down together. A recent Lending Tree study shows nearly 2 in 3 Americans believe a recession is coming. On top of that, 74% admit that the world news and current events impact their financial decisions, especially when it comes to major purchases like housing. That's the climate we're in right now. People are watching the headlines and wondering what's going to happen next. With these concerns in mind, let's hear what leading economists have to say. According to Chief Economist Mark Zandi, the risks are increasingly high that we're going into a recession. We're not there yet, and maybe things get turned around, but that's increasingly becoming hard to do with each passing week. Inflation remains elevated. The Federal Reserve's goal is to keep inflation close to 2%. Right now, it's sitting closer to 2.9%. Some experts believe we may not get all the way back to 2%. Instead, we'll likely hover in this range for a while. Inflation is simply the rate at which prices for goods and services rise. Either way, the key takeaway is that inflation is still above where the Feds would like it to be. Unemployment is still holding fairly steady, with the latest rate at 4.2%. Historically speaking, that's still a relatively strong number, but beneath the surface, there are signs of stress in the labor market, some small cracks beginning to show. It's a reminder that while the headline figure looks stable, we need to watch closely to see how conditions develop from here. As we discuss the job growth, you'll see a chart highlighting the trends since January of 2021. Job growth is starting to stall. We no longer see the kind of strong gains we had in the past. And that slowdown is one of the reasons you're hearing more talk in the media about the possibility of a recession. As Mark Zandi has pointed out, we're increasingly moving in that direction. I bring this up because it matters to consumers. These are the headlines and the data points people are paying attention to right now, and they shape how buyers and sellers feel about making big financial decisions. Have you noticed any changes in your local market? Share your thoughts below. According to Chief Economist Daryl Fairweather, the Fed is in a tough spot. Some argue that with a weakening labor market, it's time to bring rates down. Others point to rising inflation and say a rate cut is misguided. The most likely scenario, the Fed will cut rates to stabilize the labor market, viewing any inflation from tariffs as temporary. But if that assumption proves wrong, we could be looking at rate hikes again in 2026. An economic slowdown can create opportunity, but only if you know how to navigate it carefully. That's why it's important to look ahead on what could be on the horizon for the economy and how those shifts are impacting the housing market right now, and factors already in play that we need to keep in mind. Let's connect and review the numbers so you know what's happening now and how to be ready for the best possible outcome if you're planning to make a move in the next year. So question, with mortgage rates starting to dip and builders offering more incentives, is now the moment buyers have been waiting for? Let's get a discussion going. Share your questions or thoughts in the comments and feel free to reply to others. I'll dive into these topics in future videos. Stay informed and ahead of the market by subscribing to the latest updates and insights. Remember, with every challenge comes opportunity. Let's navigate this journey together. Well, that's a wrap. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep dreaming big and aiming high.